Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Liesa and I'm talking about books, and today I'd like to talk to you about the Earthsea Quartet by Ursula K. Le Guin. So let's get into it! The Earthsea Quartet by Ursula K. Le Guin is talking about the world of Earthsea, and there's actually more books about Earthsea, but I'm just going to talk about the ones that I've already read. And that's A Wizard of Earthsea, The Tombs of Atuan, and The Farthest Shore, and the fourth one is called Taon, and I read it in ebook format. So what are the books about? This is a high fantasy genre, and it's a bit of young adult, but it's also very pleasing for adults and everybody else, and it's very magical. It would also go very well for somebody who's very young. And the first tale is talking about Ged, or Sparrowhawk, who is starting out as a little boy living in a distant village called Gaunt in the Earthsea lands. And the Earthsea is actually a series of isles spread through a big ocean. And one of these isles is called Gaunt, and he lives on there. And it's a small island. There's basically shepherds and little villages and everything. And when these Viking sort of people come to conquer the village, Ged manages to protect it with little magic that he has learned from a witch who is living in the village. After that, the story escalates pretty quickly. An old wizard comes to Ged to give him his true name and ask whether he wants to be a magician's apprentice. And of course he does, because he's really good at that. So this story is about Ged, who is learning how to be a wizard, and at the beginning I very love it because he has this quirky personality of a boy who is proud of himself. He's very show-offish, but he grows out of it as he becomes to learn and know more about the magic. And there's a big conflict in the book that has been caused by Ged. You should really read it, you should give it a go if you would like to experience this immersion effect, or so I call it. So that's the first book, so we get to know Ged. In the second book, which is called The Tombs of Atuan, which I liked very much, not the last, but maybe my second favorite in the cycle, it's talking about Tanar, or Arha as she has been known, and it's a completely different area of Earthsea, and she is a young woman, young girl, who becomes a high priestess of Atuan, high priestess of the tombs, destined to protect and reign over the tombs. And these tombs are completely dark, and she is the only person who is allowed to venture inside, and there's all kinds of treasures hidden in there, and she has to be the protector, she has to be the executioner of their will. And this is something that she has been destined to do from a very little age. And actually, now that she is actually stepped into it, and she's doing all that, she starts shifting her perspective. The story escalates further when Ged actually travels as a wizard to recover a lost treasure hidden in the tombs of Atuan. And when Tanar actually faces him, she has to decide what she's going to do with him, because he's pretty much in her power. I love this story because this is a very well shown story of somebody's destiny, because we all have this idea of who we want to become and who we actually can become under circumstances, and the circumstances might push us one way or the other. And this is a story of a girl, of a woman who has been destined to be one thing, and now she has to decide whether she is going to actually spend her lifetime doing it. The third book of the series is called The Farthest Shore, and this is by far the highest paced book in the series, and it also explores many different lands, although it's not much thicker than the other books. By the way, of course, there are maps in every single one of these books, and they're gorgeous. There's lots of isles. We don't see all of them. Here, you can see that. We don't see all of them through the stories, but it gives you an idea what a well-thought world this is. So in The Farthest Shore, this is a very interesting conflict in the book. What happens is, actually, on the island of Roke, where wizards and magicians learn their craft, Prince Aaron comes to let everybody know that there's trouble, and magic begins to slowly disappear out of this world. Magicians and wizards and witches start to forget the words of wisdom, their craft, they cannot do anything about it, and they become miserable, and all life loses its savor and its quality. And in the circumstances, a Sparrowhawk or Gad has to do something to fix the situation, and he brings along Prince Aaron to actually help him find out the cause of the problem, to find how do you fix what cannot be fixed. They're facing dragons, they're going on far voyages, and this is the fun part because we're not actually skipping through the voyages as it would usually happen in books when you are in point A and then you shift to point B. Now you actually get to enjoy the path from point A to point B, the slowly paced path, but even so, this book is pretty action-packed. The last book in the series is called Taon. Taon is a slow-paced story of a girl who has been harmed and hurt in her childhood, and she is being brought up by Tanar in an old village. And Tanar is reappearing in this book, as well as Ged, who is going to make an appearance after the farthest shore. And Taon is a story of recovering yourself, and it is very beautiful. It's about Tanar finding herself living a simple life and enjoying that and handling that, and she has to face Ged again after all these years apart. If you've read the cycle, if you've read these books, please let me know down below which one was your favorite and whether you liked the cycle or not. I found it very beautiful, I found it very touching, and definitely a worthy read. It had such high praise, not for nothing. These books are beautiful. They explore very deep and meaningful ideas, and I found it fun that even in Taon, which is the least magic-filled book out of the four, you still get this beautiful feeling of magic about to happen. And yeah, I simply love these books. So please let me know your opinion down below. If you like this review, please leave me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more reviews and videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!